What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we are going to be going over my top 3 hacks for teaching your cattle dog or herding dog puppy to stop nipping and biting your arms, toes, legs, face, and everything in between. So without any further ado, let's dive in. All right, guys, so my number one hack for teaching your cattle dog puppy to stop nipping and biting, especially when they're at a very, very young age, is simply redirecting. So redirecting just means getting the attention off your heels, your hands, whatever it is, and putting that on something else. So that could be ideally other dog toys. I would say is probably the most easily accessible one for the majority of people. Just have toys laying around. As soon as they start to go for your feet, you grab the toy instead, get their attention, wiggle the toy around in front of them, and stuff the toy in their mouth like a pacifier, right? So redirecting is going to be huge. Another way you can do redirecting also is with treats and training. So as soon as like he starts to nip or bite or something, you got treats in your pocket, you pull out that treat, put him into a sit, give him a different job. All right, so hack number 2 is going to be simply ignoring. A lot of times your puppy is going to be looking to you for extra attention. They're kind of attention hogs, especially at a young age. And so by simply ignoring them, you're going to essentially deflate the situation. Just like in an argument, and if instead of you blowing up and reacting, sometimes that's what they want to rile you up. Then instead, if you just completely ignore them, they're like, oh, this isn't fun anymore, and then they go do something else. So an example of how that might look is, let's say you've got a, 12-week-old cattle dog puppy. He's biting your ankles like crazy as you're trying to walk. You're screaming, or maybe the kid's screaming or something, and you're just making a big deal out of it, yelling, stop, stop, ow, it hurts. So instead, in that situation, if you just stop walking completely, turn your back to that dog, and don't do anything until he loses interest and goes and does something else, eventually he will learn that, hey, like when this happens, I actually get less interaction and less attention, so I'm going to stop doing that. And then you play with him when he's being good. So that's something that I think worked really well for Cowboy as a pup. He just wants to please me, and so when I stopped giving him attention like that, he stopped doing kind of whatever it was, because he likes to be the center of attention, or at least the center of my attention. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Quick break from the video to let you guys know about something I wish I had when Cowboy was a puppy. What are you doing over here too? So basically you live and you learn, and what we did was we recently, as in today, just came out with our brand new Yak Cheese Chews for dogs. They're an all natural, long lasting chew. It's great for teething puppies. Redirect, stick this in their mouth and let them chew on this instead. Not only does it tire them out, it can actually prevent anxiety and boredom as well. Plus it's a high protein treat because it's filled with yak milk and lime juice. Those are the only 2 ingredients, and there's plenty of studies out there that show yak milk is actually more beneficial for your dog than any other type of milk because it contains more of the essential amino acids. So these Back 40 Dogs brand new Yak Cheese Chews, check us out. We appreciate your guys' support so much. Let me show you what they look like real quick. This is a size large. It's pretty universal for most breeds. Oh no. And I'll give it to him right now. So thanks, guys. We appreciate your support, and we'll get back to the video. All right, and hack number 3 to help you guys hopefully try and help your dogs not nip and bite so much as young puppies, and to get through that stage as quickly as possible. And one thing I'll say before saying number 3 is you have to realize that most of the time, if you stay consistent, your dog will mature and kind of grow out of this phase. It definitely is a puppy thing. They're learning through their mouth. They don't have hands, right? Babies have hands. They kind of touch everything. Dogs don't. They use their mouth to explore like that. It's obviously much more, it seems more like biting with herding breeds because they were bred to bite, so they are quite nippy and mouthy most of the time. Maybe it's a little bit harder to break them of that. At least that was my experience. But as they mature, as long as you stay consistent, then they tend to grow out of it. Number 3 is simply correcting your dog and teaching them what no means. And if you look at what a mother dog does with her pack of puppies, her litter of puppies, if there's something that she doesn't like and she wants to teach them not to do that behavior anymore, she will correct them. She does that by many ways, but the most common is using her mouth to kind of like either pick them up and like move them from the situation, pin them with their mouth, pin them with her mouth to the ground, growl, and just communicate via dog that, hey, knock it off, this isn't allowed anymore. And so the way that you can kind of do that with your dog is you're going to need to have a firmer hand with this breed, because they are bullies to other dogs. They're bullies to their people. Like, if you don't teach them how to do these things, they're going to teach you how to do what they want you to do. So you have to take a leadership role with this breed and really not be afraid to people like they don't like to use the word dominate anymore, but like, you have to be the dominant leader in a relationship with this breed. Otherwise they're going to do whatever they want, because it's a dominant breed. They there is a hierarchy, and they think that, you know, they can rule the roost unless you tell them otherwise. So you need to very clearly explain to them that no, this is not allowed. That's going to be done via very stern nose. Something else you can do is, when Callaway was growing up, I had him on a leash a lot of times, and a leash, pop on the leash, he learns that that's a correction. And that's a very effective way to gain control of your dog too, that a lot of people just forget about. They're like, oh, I can't use a leash in the house. I'm like, why not? Like, put a leash on your dog in the house as long as you're monitoring them. And then when they're acting up, they're chasing your feet, whatever, you grab that leash and you pop them and tell them no. And then they're like, oh, okay, like, I won't do that anymore. So I hope that these 3 things can help you guys build a better relationship with your cattle dogs or your dogs at home, whatever breed they are. If you want to see our training community, Cattle Dog Academy, you guys can check us out. I'll put a link in the bio below. And that's kind of our community. We do live Q&As, a bunch of training videos in there with people dealing with similar problems to you guys with their dogs, and just building connections with their dogs and stronger relationships with them. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel if you're a subscriber. And of course, as always, thank you to everyone who supports our brand, Back 40 Dogs, and our supplement line to fuel your dog like a farm dog. Cowboy says thanks. I say thanks. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.